the hedge was always put around the village to keep the little critters out.
Yep.
So she wasn't really part of that society. Our world, we take the mundane and make it magical.
And it had morphed into a mailbox. I'm like, bro, I saw you.
Right?
Like, you are not fooling anyone.
We have new tools. However, the issue comes with the size of the recording and uploading onto those tools. Thankfully, our new software allows us to record directly onto it. Unfortunately, that doesn't help us with something that's already pre-recorded. So, the May episodes will be audio only. We will be back with video when we're back on track in July. Thanks for understanding. And now, with no further delay, let's peek over the hedge.
Don't adjust your settings. You are right where you need to be. Pull the curtains. Lock the doors. They can't know. They don't want you knowing. So pull up a chair and prepare. The Conclave is now in session.
Welcome back to the Conclave Podcast. As you see, we have another guest with us today. We have ourselves Adele Holmes, aka the Hag in the Hedge. And of course, as always, with me, my lovely wife Jess. I'm Patrick, and thank you so much for sticking with us as long as you have. So, before we jump into everything, this is definitely going to be an episode on kitchen witchery, green witchery, teas, and all that kind of good stuff. We were just sitting here having some chatter, and it's like, screw that. We need to start recording and get some icebreaker stuff going on. I need to bitch a little bit because this construction is really starting to piss me off. So coming into town, up the hill, I usually take. Jess takes a whole different route, so she had no clue what I was talking about. They've been working on the street, digging it, but they don't tell you that there's construction or the road's going to be closed. Entrance of the road.
Right.
They wait until you're like 3/4 of the way up the hill. There's only one avenue of escape at that point.
Yep.
But today was extra frustrating.
Yes.
Because first they had a flagger sign. So I'm like, okay, fine. The road's not closed. It's just one lane. It's not a problem. And then you drive forward like another 5 feet and you realize, no, they've positioned the road closed sign perfectly behind the flagger sign like assholes.
Yep.
That's PennDOT for you.
Yeah.
This is what we get when we always go with the lowest bid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you not in Pennsylvania, let me tell you about our roads. It's highly obvious.
Bus, okay?
Right.
In the
yeah.
middle of downtown.
I said all pretty much in one little sentence.
Just look up first city bus single. And it's a meme.
And I feel like they left the damn bus in there. It seemed like for 9 months. I know it wasn't, but it seems like
But it was so iconic. I mean, they made Christmas ornaments out of it, for crying out loud. I mean, like, who didn't?
One of my brother's colleagues was staying at the hotel that was right in front of. It was right in front of a fairly well-known hotel. I think it was the Omni.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
And Peter was down doing some promotion for a film, and he walked out of his hotel to go to dinner.
Oh, that's right.
And there was the bus right out front.
They were coming to my restaurant at the time.
Yeah, they were at Chipino.
Yeah. Don't say the name. Screw those guys.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, I mean, so they can't hurt us anymore.
Oh, there you go.
No, but it's like invoking the devil.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, that's good.
And today I'm drinking Adele's Swiss hot cocoa. It's delicious.
Woohoo! He had my throat tea this morning. Now I'm drinking water.
It's black tea, cocoa, and chamomile.
Yes. And it's a good cocoa. It's not like a Nestle thing.
No, I can smell it from all the way over here. That's fantastic. As soon as I finish it, it's going to be one of those.
I'll bite you.
Did you fight me or bite me?
She'll bite you. Both, man. She ain't playing.
And we still have to work all day.
They don't, okay? So, I love you both. I don't want to see you fighting.
That's making it awkward already.
Never.
Okay, so before we started, you were about to
tell us about the new teas you got.
Tell us. Well, we were talking about the new teas.
Yes.
So we get into really the meat and the potato about it. Tell us about your business. Tell us what you do.
Okay. Well, I own a tea shop, slash apothecary slash metaphysical store over in Plumboro. It's called Hag in the Hedge. And what I do is I custom blend medicinal, magical, flavorful teas. I also do custom blending, the Morgan for you guys.
Yep.
So based on what your flavor profile is, what your practice is, where you want to go with that, as long as you give me the information, things that you want incorporated, I can pretty much blend anything. Yeah.
And I love
It's
your
cool.
teas. I mean, there's a reason why we sell them here at the shop.
Thank you. I appreciate it too. I appreciate you guys, and I'm so thankful
I'm
for you guys.
thankful for all the samples you give us because it's ever out of tea. Try this one.
But okay, to explain to everybody how much I actually do legitimately love these teas, Jess was in the process of starting a line of herbal teas. She had a couple that were already out, selling for a while, was about to expand, and then you pop into her life. There's like one sip of the tea's like, nope, this is better. Screw up doing that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And you're just naming a line of new ones, which really just tackles our nerdy heart.
Oh my gosh, yes. I nerd out when a couple of my teas like really hit that it tickles that nerd center. And so I have a new tea has the main herb is mullein, as you guys know, is a fantastic herb for respiratory lung issues, all that fun stuff. So and there's a bunch of other supporting herbs that are with it, and it is called Millennium Falcon.
I love it.
And I was going with the whole Star Wars theme. So the next one is a flavored tea. So I primarily based it with like the chicory and everything. So, but it is almost like a mocha chocolate. Yeah, like a mocha chocolate. And that is called Java the Hutt. And I am working on a sugar cookie one, and that'll be Sugar Cookie Wookie. And I'm trying to work on a blue milk. Yeah, I don't know how to work it yet. So I'm trying to do the little nuances there. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So, and then the summer line is coming out, and that is my berries and all the stuff that's great iced. I have buried Berried, and it is a bunch of wonderful berries. My berries are freeze-dried fruits, so there's none of that processing, and there's no air dried. And because when it's air dried, it's normally heat a little bit, and that destroys the flavor and some of the chemical constituents that make it healthier for you. So everything I have is freeze dried, and I have what are some of the other ones? One on a midnight berry, and that is a deep, deep berry. It is blueberries, elderberries, blackcurrants. It's just think of a real deep, dark sangria, almost, but without the alcohol. It's wonderful. It's if you like that dark stuff, and it brews beautifully. And I have peachy strawberry, which pretty much as the name entails, it's peaches that have literally been kissed by strawberries. Uh, trying to think what
Consensually.
Consensually, yes, yes. That. I'm trying to think of a couple of the other ones. There's a few more that are in the works. So any suggestions, I will always try to make stuff.
I don't know about suggestions. I've heard that elderberry
Yes.
is the scent of most English Knigget's moms.
Really? What's the nigga mom? I know there's a joke.
Monty Python.
Oh,
Your mother smells of elderberry.
yes. Oh my God, how could I not?
Sorry, the nerding out just kind of kept.
Yes, no,
Kind of.
it's funny because we always so full I could not do off with the mint. So I get it, and I can't believe I didn't catch that.
And actually, I was about to say like that's probably fine. Most of the audience won't either, but our audience is actually the older side. So they're
Hey,
yeah. I mean, it's the like mid-30s up, so they're gonna get the reference.
yes,
And if not, shame on you,
right?
your parents for
Shame
not
on
teaching
you.
you. And if you're too young to know, shame on your parents.
Right?
I mean, we do have friends who have never seen Mary Poppins.
The new one, right?
No. Sean's never seen Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins.
Look at his face.
I mean, I'm not even that big of a fan of him,
But like, I
but
mean,
that just seems.
I'm a fan of the music.
I mean, the music is.
Yes.
but like, I mean, it was on ABC Fit. Like, it was on the
Gazillion
Magical World of
times a week.
Disney every Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
Sunday night primetime was like Magical World of Disney. It was on at least like 6 or 7 times a year.
Yeah.
It felt like
If
anyway.
not,
But
yeah.
we always forget he's probably too young for the Magical World of Disney Sunday night movie thing that used to be when we were younger. You know, he's
They
I
were
always
still
forget
doing
he's
that
still in
when
his
I was in
20s.
college.
Really? Of
Yeah, I would watch it on Sunday nights.
course you
You didn't have cable.
Some of us don't have the HBO.
Yeah, I had 6 channels.
Yeah.
would. It was on
That was
ABC.
one
It
thing
was
you could
HBO.
watch.
Yeah.
That was one thing I could watch for a consistent 2 hours, not have to go flipping through.
Yeah. It was like you pretty much planted for 2 hours, 2.5 with
Yeah.
commercials.
My cross stitching and watch my Disney movies.
Right?
Really both 10 and 90 at the same time.
So now, before we get into more of everything else going
Okay.
on, it was during the nerding out process before I was like, oh, yeah, hold it right here. We need to.
You asked about the boys.
You were about to talk about
Oh my
and that's a
gosh.
show that I watched all of season 1, part of season 2, and I got busy and kind of forgot.
Yeah.
So I still need to watch it. Jess didn't make it past the airplane scene in season 1,
Oh.
which I
Yeah,
understand.
I was like, absolutely, I'm done.
Oh my god, it's so much worse.
Yeah, that's what, and I knew that because if they're going out this hard, I'm not. I know
Right.
it.
Episode
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
already hate flying, and I've been flying with my children since they were infants, like literally like weeks old.
Yeah, Jana's first flight.
So like the last thing I need is to watch like
Like that.
something like
Yeah.
that. Like, we're done
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah. If you want to be truly almost horrified in some ways, because I've watched it and I was like, oh, okay, they went that hard. Okay, kudos to Eric Kripke. Like
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? Like I could deal with a lot, but this is the one. I'm like, we're done here.
Yeah, but so now when we found out and when she found out that Jensen was in it, then she was like, maybe I need to go back and give it a try.
And then they
Don't
added
get me wrong,
Misha,
I'm
and then
100%.
they added,
Did they add Misha? I know they added.
yeah,
well, that night was the one that
Oh,
Misha
and they have
and
Bobby
Derek.
in it.
it's
Like
like
it's
it's the
like
greatest trio in
I
TV history. I'm
right?
sorry, but that's just
I
you can't.
completely agree
Nobody
with
can
you.
convince me otherwise.
And they just bonded in a brotherly way that it truly
it's so believable.
right.
Yeah.
And like the fact that like Misha was supposed to be kind of like a one-off. But, like, he was like he's working so well and he's doing so well. Like let's just keep adding him in there. Like all right, now you're just one of the boys.
Right, exactly. No pun intended.
And,
No pun intended.
and like, honestly, I think, and this is now taking it on a whole separate tangent. The episode of Supernatural
Mhm.
where they jump through the window and they end up in the alternate universe, like in our world.
Yes.
The way Misha is, and they're like, "Hey guys, Jared Jensen's thanked me." It's like that's got like that hadn't been them when he first got on set.
They
It
had
had
to
to have
watch
been.
Misha because he posted all the time that he would give away spoilers
Oh,
by
that's right.
accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to like right, exactly. You're like now Misha. But yeah,
It's like
Jensen,
Tom Holland Marvel. It's like,
right?
Yeah.
you need
It's
a
like,
babysitter every interview. They're just step on
Exactly.
your toes.
here's 3 completely different scripts. No, all you'll figure out which one it is when we get to filming,
Exactly.
and don't lose any of them.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can't do that to me because I'm still in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Can't.
So okay, we'll rein it in a little bit.
Got it.
What's the name? Where'd you get the name from?
Hag in the Hedge.
Yeah, like I think I have an idea, right? But I've never actually sat there and been like,
Well, funny story. My mom lovingly used to call me her little hag. I'd run around with, come here, you little hag. But it was a term of endearment. And the further along I got in learning about the herbs and that other world that, we all belong in now, the more I started realizing, okay, this is who I am. Like I was always the kid. I was the weird kid on the street. So I was the one who got my sand pail. And I didn't go to the sandbox. I went over to the wood line and I'd start picking flowers and sticks and cool rocks. And then I'd go over to my backyard, fill it up. And my mom's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm making a potion. So I started realizing I thought I was a green witch, but I'm not. there's that liminal space that I like to travel through. And so it's kind of like I look between both worlds with the spirituality, like, the scrying and everything like
Mhm.
that. And I realized that's what a hedge witch is. And I was trying to come up with a name. I was selling my teas because I've been making teas all my life. It was just something I was just drawn to. Somebody would be sick and I'd be like, oh, here's some nettle, here's some chamomile. And I'd whip it together. And the older I got and the more complex my teas got, people would, they would drink my tea and they'd be like, this is great, but can you make it taste like my grass clippings? And I'm like, sure. That's how the story came about, right? So I
Add some
just
honey and shut up.
right, exactly. So I started putting everything together, and my friends and my family were like, "We need to sell these." I said, "Well, I don't have a name." So I was telling my sister, "What do I do?" She's like, "Well," and I explained to her what a hedge witch was, and she's like, "Well, to honor my mom who had passed not too long before that, she goes, why don't you call it Hag in the Hedge?" It's like because the hedge
That's
witch does,
fantastic.
yeah. It led to another, and as soon as she did it, it
Yeah.
clicked in a way that I've never had things click before, and I was like, "That's it." I literally opened up my LLC that day.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
So
Now, for anybody who doesn't know what a hedge witch is
yes,
and where it comes from, and correct me if I'm wrong, but historically, it talks about the fact, that that lady of the village was kind of shoved off to the
yes,
end.
yes,
So she was at the end of the headline, and that's
exactly, yes,
for your healings and your predictions and your
remedies and-
whatnot.
exactly, yes.
But it's an interesting word. You're a witch.
The W word. Yes. But yeah, like the hedge was always put around the village to keep the little critters out.
Yep.
So she wasn't really part of that society.
Keep out the hedge hogs, so
Right.
to speak.
Exactly. So
In there.
I
It's
never
Sonic.
like fit in with the Normies.
Normies.
Yeah, the Muggles, whatever you want to call it. So as soon as I read and delved deeply into that, I was like, oh, that's me.
So you could literally say this your entire life, but
Yes.
like, how long into it did you realize, oh shit, this is witchcraft? I'm doing something way different than what most people do.
Oh
Like,
God.
and just like as like a kid playing witch collecting flat.
Yeah,
Like
it
in
really
the
struck home about 13.
okay.
When I think I kind of had the ability to understand and comprehend fully what I was reading.
Mhm.
My first book was Scott Cunningham's Magical Herbs.
Yeah, I
And,
think one a lot of people start with.
yeah, and that's how I started learning, and I just started delving deeper and deeper. Well, you know, what happens? I used to sit to the moon. I would go outside, and my mom's like, "What are you doing?" And I'd literally be in our backyard, and
Just
I'm
having a
like, "I'm talking."
conversation.
Yeah, and she's like, "Okay," it goes back. Yeah, right. So I kind of like when I started putting things together, I'm like, I've been doing this my whole life, and not realizing that I had been doing it. And I was always one of those people that would take me places, and our big game was, uh, which way are we going? It's like, which way are we going? And we would go to somewhere different, and I'd be like, okay, you're going to turn down here. And one of the best stories is we were going to go visit my grandmother. I'm sorry, my aunt. And she had just moved onto a horse farm, and I love horses. So she's taking me there, and she's like, oh, which way are we going? And we're going down this long road, and it's filled with corn on each side, and we come to a T, and I says, "Okay, you go that way." And I said, "And up at the top is Aunt Vicky's house." And I said, "And she has a red door." So my mom's
Never been
like,
there before.
"Never been there
Okay.
before." My mom wasn't even ever there
Oh,
before.
okay.
So she literally just moved in. And so my mom's looking at, back then we didn't have GPS. So she's looking at the envelope that she wrote the directions on, and she's like, "You take a left here." And we went to the top, and there was my aunt's trailer with a red door. And she just like looked at me. I was like, see, right? So when I was 13, and I that's whenever it really hit. I just started taking off and going to the bookstores. I'd say, Mom, can we go? Back in the day it was Walden Books and like those
Yep.
places. And back then also you went to the spirituality section. There were 7 books.
Yeah, all written by Cunningham or Buckland.
Wonderful, exactly. And it's like I did take Farrar Gardner.
Hmm.
So kind of like I realized that Wicca was not my path.
So, okay, that was my next question
Yeah.
because, especially with all the authors you're finding out there,
Yeah.
hey, did you in the early stages were you diving into Wicca at least a little bit? Okay.
I think that was like the option you had,
That was the only option,
That's true.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of like I didn't resonate. There was a lot of
unless you had like a familial line, like in Appalachian folk magic,
exactly,
like
which I
Century
had
Mill
not.
or
You
something
know,
like that.
my parents were Catholic. My dad was a altar boy. You know,
Well,
like
see, now you're saying none, but I mean that quite literally means you grew up in like the most witchy practices ever.
right,
The most witchy of Christianities, maybe
Right.
outside of pre-Orthodox.
right, and it's like okay, well let's do a little incense and let's turn water into wine. You know, like all this
This piece of bread is a person's
person's
body,
body,
and
right?
it is dead.
Ritual with smoke cleansing and water cleansing and chanting.
It's so funny because by the time I was a full adult, that's when it really struck me, and it was just hysterical to me. And I'm not, saying that's a bad religion or anything, but just the similarities were it's so
So
incredible.
I can't wait. My family, I think they remain purposefully ignorant of what this really is. They know the shop. They've been in the shop. They've
Don't ask,
patroned the
don't
shop,
tell
right?
situation.
It's the military in the 90s. But the day my sister really kind of like can't deny it anymore and brings it up, I can't wait to throw in her face like you practice like the witchiest religion out there.
Yes.
Like there's not a damn thing that we
Candles, exorcisms, and
I
dealing with
don't-
ghosts, like
That's what
really?
you wanted. That's what Pat wanted
when
to
I
do.
was serving the priesthood, I wanted to be an exorcist.
Shut
And
up.
the fun thing is now I actually we house cleanse, we work on people. It's the hell yeah.
That is hysterical.
And the church is now making a push for every diocese to have an official exorcist,
And they can be laymen.
and they can be laymen. Yeah, Pittsburgh
Yeah,
has
Pittsburgh
for
Diocese has
longest
a
time.
layman.
And he was on one of the podcasts I listened to, and he is a very busy guy. I want to email him. I can't remember
You
your name.
need to
If you
do-
somehow hear this, get
Right?
a hold of me.
Reach out.
Because
Yes.
I even just for a conversation or a cup of coffee to see the similarities and the differences. Because I truly believe there's a difference between the Catholic Christian demons and like the hates and the tricksters and the entities that we deal with.
I 1000% agree with you.
So, can I exercise one of their demons? Probably not. Can they get rid of a haint? Maybe.
Well, and I think
Because the structures of like, for a demon, if you have a priest go into a Christian demon and be like, in the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you, leave, not going to do something to them. You
Right.
go to a haint that just wandering in and out of the Appalachian Mountain
Yeah.
into a house and are fucking with people. There it is. And the priest goes, Jesus' name, I command you to leave this building. They're going to go,
Yeah.
that's cute.
Yeah. Right.
but I also have a theory that like certain types of belief are actually what protect you. So
Yeah.
maybe that belief in Christ protecting the home protects them from the wandering spirits, but actually welcomes in demons because it's part of the same belief structure.
Agreed. Yeah.
Whereas when you have like rural magic, it kind of opposite where they're like, meh, demons, who cares?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm really worried about that fucking thing with antlers that's like blocking my tree line right now. So I'm gonna go out and piss in the yard.
So, well, yeah. And it's so funny you did that because I had my boys when they would go pee in the four quarters and then I hammered it in the railroad.
Still do that sometimes.
Girl, we're gonna talk.
Things hammered in the ground.
Yeah.
The layer upon layers that we have surrounding
Right?
the house.
I have people walk into my house and they're like, "Oh, what a beautiful picture! What a wonderful watercolor!" And I was like, "Yeah, if you only knew what that sigil was, But you protect yourself. Like you walk into my house and you would know that it is protected
Yep.
everywhere.
Well, and we have people who like pets it for us. Like, yeah, we got some of the best thing of our life. I'm like, yeah, because there's nothing in here that's gonna fuck with you.
Right? Right? I just did all new carpet in my house, and you should have seen the carpet man. I was like, wait, I went and got my China.
Yeah.
And he kind of gave me this look, and he's like, okay. And I looked at him, I was like, it's okay. I'm a witch. And he started, I kind of figured that. I said jokingly. But you know what? I have an office. I have my altar in there. You're right. I'm going to be putting something down to protect it underneath the carpet.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know,
We did the same thing right outside front of the shop last fall. They were doing sidewalks.
Yeah.
It was all ripped up, and they went out and poured it, sprinkling herbs in the gravel. We're laying down sigil in it, and now it's all just cemented right into place.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a perfect opportunity.
Right.
Oh,
We were
100%.
totally okay. So I had some comments this week that were like, they're like, "Oh, do you like make potions and stuff?" And
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm like, potions aren't fucking real. Like,
yeah.
it was like soup is a potion,
Yeah.
tea is a potion. So yeah, I make food, I make tea. Like, that's a potion. But like, no, there's no potion that's gonna turn you into a fucking frog or some
Right.
shit,
Yeah.
or make you start like
Right.
spewing out gold coins. Like, not Harry Potter.
I'm
Like,
just gonna say that. And it's like it's almost like television, entertainment, movies, and everything have kind of in some way vilified us, but in all gave a
overinflated.
conceived idea of what we are, and they don't understand.
Right.
It's like, yes, my tea is my potion. When I create my teas, like you go on Hag and Hedge on my Facebook, you'll see me making my own tea. It's a full moon, and it's like I do everything with intent in the specific lunar cycle. So when I'm making tea for myself,
There's a ritual to it.
there's a ritual. I stir in certain ways. If I know, like today, I was very nervous coming. I was taken care of because you guys are very good, dear friends. And I was like, I have a problem speaking in public. So what am I doing? I wrote a sigil on calmness and free speech and stuff like that. So I'm stirring that sigil in that I created the night before. And why not stir in something as you're stirring your tea? It's our world. We take the mundane and make it magical in very little ways that doesn't have attention. But yeah, stir something in. Put a sigil and eyeliner on your thing if you're going public. I'm a big thing about crowds. So when I go into the crowds, I do a little sigil in the eyeliner. The one that doesn't wash. You have to like scrub it.
Yeah.
Just for people to stay out of my mouth. And it works.
Pick the herbs you use in food.
Absolutely.
See, then I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was like I instantly scrolled past it, just like the title they had to go across it. It's just like
I do the same thing.
the weekend is, or spell work is, or the weekend is spell work, or spell work is the weekend. It's like,
No,
this is either you and part of your life, or
it's your
not.
DNA,
Like,
and
you're doing little things in everything.
One of
Stirring it into the damn coffee. It's
yeah. One of the biggest things my cousins will say, so what day of the week should I do this on? I'm like, you do it on the day that you have the energy to do it.
right.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
if you don't have energy, you're like, this needs to be cast on a Wednesday. Guess what's going to happen? Nothing.
TikTok.
Yeah.
I blame TikTok. I love TikTok.
There
Don't
are
get me wrong.
practices that do prescribe you need to do this type of working on this
Yeah.
day. Like,
I am
but-
not
especially if it's tied to
regimented.
like deity, like that.
Yes.
You're doing deity, and they're saying, "Hey, do it Wednesdays."
Yes.
Okay.
because
Yeah, because you're
Ogre's
not
Day or-
Yeah.
right. Exactly. So, what I believe, just based on the education that I've had educating myself, I believe you do magic when it's best suited for you, when you have the energy. But also, if you go back, I mean, our practice goes back thousands of years.
Mhm.
They did not have purple, green, pink, yellow candle.
They may not have even had a candle.
Right,
They had
exactly.
a fireplace and a
And
pot.
that's it. And that's what I use. I have a cauldron out there that is warped beyond belief because it has been in the fire 1,000 times. It's that's what I use. That's my method. I'm not gonna not do a spell because I don't have a green candle.
Yeah.
You know what else they didn't have 1,000 years ago? Wednesday.
No, right? Yeah. Thinking. It's like exactly. So it's everything I think is based on what my belief lunar cycles, the seasons, and everything tied into that. And they didn't have a watch. I mean, it was so much more open and free flowing
It was
that vibed with me.
That's why probably my next life is
well, and
2,000 years.
that's why I always tell people to add things in small, mundane ways. I put Florida water in all my cleaning supplies.
And you make the best Florida.
There's potions. In a pinch,
Double
I
bubble, extra
brew a pot of chamomile tea and toss it in my floor wash because chamomile's a purifier and it welcomes in all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Like so, a pinch, like you can go to the freaking Dollar Tree and get a packet of chamomile tea.
Yeah.
Throw it in your wash water. You're at least doing something when you're like, I just clean my kitchen.
Right. And it can be so people like overcomplicate things again because of social media.
And if you wanted to do like a big ritual once in a while, great.
Can,
But
yeah.
like,
Am I going to dance naked under the moon out in my backyard? Probably not.
That's it. I'm not coming over.
Yeah, well, I'll make restitution. I'll go ahead and I'll do that one time for you guys. We'll just warn the neighbors because I'll be like, oh my God. But I laugh when I watch. I mean, of course, we all watch Halloween Town at Halloween time. So it's funny when
I've
the
never seen
grandma.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, it's so cute. It really is. But she goes and she makes the instant. She gets her bubble toilet trouble, and the microwave is like bubble toilet trouble. Funny to me that I actually wanted to change my microwave and I wanted to do little stickers over it, but she got an instant recipe for
that's
a
fantastic.
smell. And it can be that easy. Like you said, throw some chamomile in your floor wash, stir a sigil into your tea.
Yeah.
Like just you do directional magic, which sometimes I do if I'm going somewhere. My compass on my dashboard in my car. Okay, we're going north. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, we're going south. Well, you know what? I'm gonna. South is the great destroyer. What I say. It's the sun rots meat and dries things out. So when you want to cut something loose and you want to burn it and you want to get rid of it and everything, when you're driving south, you put that out there.
Think about
So
giving it to Florida Man.
there you go. There you go. See? But again, mundane into magical. You have to live it in order to truly believe in it. You have to make it a daily practice.
See, and the more conversations I have with this, like this with friends, it really kind of solidifies the fact that like similar attracts similar.
Absolutely.
I don't know of too many people that we're close with or talk to even on a semi-regular basis that practices high magic. Most of the people in our bubble, in our world, they're all low magic, folk magic, all that kind of stuff. And it's just showing it because they don't wait for certain days. They don't do all the grand tools. They stir it in, pick the leaves off of the hedge out back.
Right.
It's all that.
I'm living on the fly. 90% of my time I'm on the fly.
I don't know
With
what day it is.
magic.
Not that there's anything wrong with high magic. I don't like the way that started and how it became a thing.
Yeah.
But those people are dead a long time ago. So
It's a lot of pomp and circumstance for me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't have the energy.
So poor money.
That too. I'm like, let's be real. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
But it's very strange. Like I said, they're not strange. I guess it's just heartwarming, maybe. That you put out who you really are, you're going to attract the people around you that should be.
I always call out anytime, and I generally do it on the full moon, but I always say put people in my path that I can help them and they can help me. And we just elevate and we just raise our vibrations and it has become a true source of people like you in my life because I tell the universe, put them in my path. I love learning. I love talking. We have some great conversations.
Yeah, every time you come in.
Every time. I'm like, oh, I'm only going to be an hour. Yeah, no, I don't think so. 3 hours later, like, where have you been? I was like, I was talking to Jess and Pat. But it's you have to want it and you want to. I like being around like-minded people because if I'm not, then I feel like I got that stink eye looking at me, like, oh, you're really weird, but and I celebrate my weirdness and I'm okay with that, but also when I can open up knowing that I'm going to be heard
That
and
it's
sometimes
safe.
validated
Yeah.
and it's safe and
You don't have to
everything,
ask for
God
once.
dang, yeah, right? Exactly. It's beautiful for me. And I love hanging around people like yourselves. And I wish I wasn't so far away because I'd be out here a hell of a lot more. But I thank you guys for being a part of my life. I really
Thank you.
do appreciate
Yeah, no,
it. So
we love having you around.
awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
We touched on a little bit. Social media. What's the thing that chaps your ass about it?
Okay.
As we're sitting here on social media.
But we're real.
Sounds like
the level
somebody that
of
wasn't real would say.
right.
Sounds like a
A blazer. Yes. I just I hate I shouldn't say hate, that's a very strong word. I do not feel comfortable in what a lot of influencers put out there. Case in point, I saw not too long ago, this woman who's all, glittered up and, got the little flowers in her hair, and she's like, I'm gonna show you how to invite the fae into your house. And I'm like, good God, no. Why would you want
sounds like something a Fae would say.
right?
I recognize a fake trap when I see one.
Right? And it's
Trap.
like, okay, did you read it all, or did you just think it was cool? And did you watch,
Disney.
I was just gonna say a Disney show that,
Tinkerbell's a dick.
right?
She kind of is, and yet people are like, "Hey, look at you,
She's
Tinkerbell."
yeah, and if you truly knew what the Fae looked like, uh, no. And they
I mean,
don't
they're
like us for the most part. They don't want a whole lot. Well, in my experience, they don't really want to deal with us. It's like, okay, that's fine. You do your thing, and I'll do my thing over here, and you know,
see. We started our practice in like the worst way possible. Now looking back on it, like one of the first things we did collectively in the metaphysical world is we put together an altar for the Fae in the yard.
And he
But-
and he opened a portal to the Two-A-Day.
That's what they are, my gods.
how'd that work out for you?
It's
Perfectly
fine. We've never
We
had
okay, so we were dumb in
damage
that
to the
aspect,
house.
but we were smart enough to be like, okay, cool. Here's the thing. We'll leave some offerings. We'll do this regularly. You're not allowed in the house.
Yeah.
You can be in the woods, in the garden, in the yard, but you stay out of the house. And I'm not gonna we're not gonna ask you for anything. We're not gonna try to make deals. We're not gonna accept deals. Y'all just enjoy the yard and everything around. And you know what? We had instant growth. Like, there's so much
Mugwort.
mugwort and bone set and whatever those little blue flowers are. It's all
Periwinkle.
around that altar.
Periwinkle? Oh.
Like from day one. We've
And
had
you didn't plant those. They just
nope, they all just showed up. We have had
That's cool.
foxglove
Yeah, we had a foxglove
Grow.
randomly show up.
randomly.
We had
in
a
the
golden
yard.
eagle net. That was 2020 because we had
Yeah.
the golden eagles nesting in the tree out front. And then we had a foxglove appear right under that tree.
See,
that
now
day
that's
there.
interesting that a foxglove
Yep.
shows up.
Yeah. And it
Um,
still pops up every couple of years. It'll show its head.
so to me, I would take that as okay. This is what you use on your truest form of enemies.
Oh yeah.
Foxglove for people who don't know, foxglove is what
Really
the
poisonous.
highly pointless. It's with the medicinal world. The people. Let's make some aspirin out of white willow bark, but foxglove is digitalis. So it'll stop your heart.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, they really wanted you to pardon my language, fuck around and find out. I'm like,
We had some
And-
people to fucking deal with that year.
right?
And
Exactly.
the placement of it, it's essentially right at the entrance to what our driveway
Right.
property
Yeah. Right to
line is.
the edgery to the.
So
That's
right
cool.
at the
Yeah,
edge.
it's really
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. And it instantly things used to fall. There was one male spirit that would follow me home from the restaurants all the time. Right, he was just creepy. He was
He would stand in front in the
stand in the
window
window
and
and
stare at me while I was with the baby.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that's
the second we started that with the Fae, gone. Nothing comes onto our the property line proper. Now we've built up our own line of defense through the years, but that was the first one, and it just automatically felt like cool. This is our home too now. We don't want this shit here either.
right. Exactly.
And they don't come inside. I don't think we've ever had a problem inside the house that we could have attributed to them.
I don't know who the baby raccoons.
Okay, now I had an incident which I don't necessarily think that it was Faye, but the woods across from my street, across from my house. I grew up in my house. My parents did in 1971. I've lived there all my life. I bought it off of my parents in 95. So there's woods directly across the street. I've played in those woods my entire life. And we've seen some of them woods, that parents are like, oh, you did not see that. Yes, we did, but I went out there and just as an offering of thanks to providing so many wonderful memories of my childhood growing up in those woods, I planted I planted a blueberry bush. I planted a raspberry bush just for the wildlife and
Just for the
everything.
critters to have a snack.
Exactly. Maybe about a year later, and this was going back about 10 years. About a year later, I'm in my backyard. A bunch of my witchy friends are over. We got the bonfire going and everything. And I have two black dogs that I adore. One is not the brightest bulb of Christmas tree, but he's filled with
Sometimes those
love.
are the
Right, exactly. So we're sitting here, we're talking, witchy stuff, and I see him out of the corner of my eye walking towards us. And then it morphed into this like 8 foot tall black being. And I stopped talking and then just went right back down again. And he walked. And when he walked into the light, it was Ollie again. And I looked at the one guy who was sitting to my right. And I looked at his face and I was like,
Oh,
"You
that
saw
too.
that too, right?" He goes, "I sure did." And I was like, "What was that?" He's like, "I have no idea." Not threatening or anything. But every now and then I'll see him lurking around by my shed and everything. Okay. Are you protecting me?
Like,
That
what's
type
going
of
on
thing.
here?
Right? Like, do you want to be friends? I'm friends, but it's what?
Mhm.
It's just like, And my neighbors laugh because the crows are always in my house. They're always in my trees. And whenever one time I was talking to my sister. I walk out the door because I feed them all through winter. And I come out there and my neighbor Carol's across the street and she just like looked at me and she points up and I was like, hold on. And I look up and there's all these crows flying around the top of my head. And I'm like, I mean, they're way up there in the sky. And Carol goes, well, a witch lives there, right? And I was starting to laugh and I was like, yeah, do you yeah.
It reminds me of a time when I was driving my kids and me to my parents in Virginia, and my GPS had taken me to like backwoods fucking West Virginia. I had no fucking clue where I was, and I was just praying GPS got me back to a highway
Right?
somewhere.
Civilization.
Like there were times where I was going into like government dead zones on like one-way roads, and I'm just like hoping and praying. So I'm driving down this like 2-lane road, and it's at this point it kind of widened out, so it was like a lot of farmland. And I see this like probably 12-foot like humanoid shadow about half mile up the road. And I'm like, and this is around sunset. So
It's getting squatchy.
Right?
I'm like, this is it was more empty than squatchy. Um, but then I get up to where I saw it and it had morphed into a mailbox. I'm like, bro, I saw you.
Right?
Like, you are not fooling anyone.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, there is no way a mailbox in the middle of a field with no houses or driveways around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're like,
no one,
"Haha,
my
I
guy.
see what you did there." Yeah. Well,
For the
But
record,
also,
everybody out
that's
there,
fine. I'm going to
we're
pretend that
not crazy. To
no.
quote Sheldon, my mother had me tested.
Right.
I have the paperwork.
Yeah. I had it laminated. I bring it with me everywhere.
I got the
Not crazy.
diagnosis.
Right? I don't even want to. I know I'm all kind of levels left up, but you know what? Makes for a fun day.
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
I say it all the time. Like, people want to deny the magical side, and they try to explain everything away as mundane. I'm like,
Ah,
quit being a buzzkill, you
right?
fucking muggle.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
just let me have this.
He gets so mad when he gets all excited about something, and I'm like, "Oh, bro, that's just this." And he's like, "Can't let me have it."
We're gonna have shirts made. Fucking muggles.
We really need to get on that. Like, we have like half a dozen different shirt designs, and we've had it for 2 years. We just don't pull the trigger and get merch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, we have the designs. And there's got to be a way we could do something that like they make them to like where we can just put like an order form out there when they because
Yeah.
isn't that something like
Like Velvet Pimple, right?
yeah
Or one of
one of
those.
those Redbubble.
That might be it.
Oh,
One of those I think does something like that where you can put your design up and then people can order off them and they'll just print the t-shirt.
and then you just provide it to them.
Yeah.
Be perfect.
Well,
Some shirts.
So we have like some design up. Like Adam always likes to say that all my exes live in hexes. So I mocked one up with like little skulls in different colored potions.
I need one of those.
There's one. It's a left-handed glove, and it says "Practice safe hex." Yeah.
Girl.
I'll have to try it. I have a couple of designs
Fucking
on
Muggles
that.
is going to be a good one.
Right?
Muggles.
And I do say that sometimes, you know.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Put fucking Muggles in the back and on the front. Just let me have this.
Right.
Fucking Muggles.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to stop here, but we will be back in just 1 week to spill more tea.
It's on you now. You have the knowledge. Do with it as you will. Until next time, the conclave has concluded.